Attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for coming this evening. I'm Sophie Jury from the Holistic Directory, and as you know, we have Yvette Taylor from the Social Source, who is going to be delivering a great workshop for us this evening. She is also known as the Social Sourceress, and I shall pass over to her, and she's going to take it from here.
Well, thank you so much for inviting me. Really lovely to be here. Oh, I can hear. 1 second, I can hear you. Thank you so much for inviting me. Can you get? Are you getting double feedback?
No, I can mute myself though, so that's okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for joining this evening. It's so lovely to see you here. And thank you so much for joining me on the training. And thanks so much, Sophie, for inviting me to come and speak to your fabulous crowd. I know it's not easy always trying to find the time in your life to do so, so I do applaud you for making the effort. Lots of people register for these things and never turn up, so well done. You get a pat on the back for attending already. So thanks so much for coming. So we've got a lot to get through tonight. I hope that we're going to get through it in the next hour and 15 minutes. But I just wanted to welcome you and say that you are here, you are in the right place. My name is Yvette Taylor, as Sophie said, and I'm the creator of the Social Source and the Soul-preneur business system, which is what I'm going to be sharing with you tonight. Now, this training is all about the 5 big things that could be holding you back from getting more clients and making more money online whilst truly being yourself and still serving your customers. Now, just to be clear, this is not one of those things where I promise that you're going to make £1 trillion in the next 20 minutes. So I do apologise about that. But what I will be introducing you to is a real holistic business model with a very strong online element to it, which is deeply rooted in Eastern philosophy, spiritual and personal development principles. So I hope that's something that speaks to you. Now, this process has made myself and my clients literally thousands of pounds and easily brings in customers and clients to your business, but also helps you to create a life and business that you love when you put it into practice. So hopefully that's something that's of great interest to you. Now, I know Sophie's going to jump in with any questions. So if anyone wants to post any questions to me throughout the webinar, please do so. I'm here for you. I'm here for you to pick my brains this evening. So pop some questions in the chat box, and then at appropriate times, I think Sophie's going to pop in and ask the questions for me so that you can get your big questions answered. So I hope that's okay. So this training's for you if you're a small business owner or soulpreneur. I know particularly this evening we are speaking to a fabulous crowd of therapists, complementary therapists and holistic therapists. So thank you so much for coming. Look, whether you're just getting started in your business or whether you've been going for a while, this is going to be really useful for you. So because I know who we are speaking to this evening and I know what you all do, I know that the work you do is of much more meaning to you than your business just being a cash machine. What you do has so much more meaning for you and for your community, and there is a much bigger reason why you run your business and why you do the work you do. Now, I know what that's like. I'll share with you why in a second, but I know what it's like. I've been running my own business for the last 10, 12 years, and I know what it's like trying to keep up with all the changes in the industry, with your online marketing, trying to run your business, keeping your clients coming in, looking after the cat, the dog and the budgie. I just had to throw my 2 cats and dog out of my office before we started on the call tonight. But I know what you really want is actually a simple life. And sometimes I understand that things like our thoughts, feelings, emotions, our past experiences and actions really also affect what happens in your business too. So we've got a lot to get through in the training, and I hope that I've got lots of amazing things for you to learn. So as I've already said, please do ask me questions and Sophie will pop in and let me know if there's anything you really need. You might occasionally hear me sipping my water, so I hope you'll forgive me for that. But I'm also a massive believer in openness, honesty and transparency. So I know you're here because you understand the importance of education, but I know you already understand that in the time that we've got, there's no way I'll be able to show you everything. So at the end of the training, I will be inviting you to take the next step and to work with me at a deeper level. So I just wanted to let you know that up front and hope that that's okay. So if you just give me a little yes in the chat box if that's all right with you. So just before we get started, just to invite you to be fully present with me throughout the training. This is for your benefit. And so I really do suggest that you just take the time, stick some headphones in, switch the children off if you can find their off button, lock the door, and just focus on being fully present on the training. Make sure you've got a pen and paper to hand so that you can take some notes. So I hope that sounds fair enough for you. So why am I here? Well, really good question. You might be wondering who on earth I am. That's me when I'm not wearing my big woolly winter jumper as I am tonight. And I didn't really often get asked how I got started in this, and it's not something that I thought I would be doing when I left school, I can tell you that for sure. But even as a small child, there was always something inside me that was about working with or empowering others. I was that person at school who'd always kind of be standing up to the bullies and somehow be the one that people came to for advice. Now, all of my jobs have always been about supporting people to find a better way to do things for themselves. In the last couple of years, I've been particularly working with business owners on relationship marketing, but most importantly, helping them to understand how to connect to themselves and the role that they play in their business, as well as communicating to their customers and clients in a way that really, truly reaches them. Now, in the last 12 years, I've practiced and taught a lot of Eastern philosophy, Chinese medicine, personal development. I'm a master and practitioner in many alternative therapies, and I train others to do the same. And so I truly resonate with all the people that are on this call tonight. So that's why I'm really excited that Sophie invited me to join you. So thank you. Now, I'm sure it's the same for you, but that is more than a passion for me. It's not a job. It's a way of life and something I try to live by each and every day. Now, the same as many entrepreneurs, I'm sure at some point, I was enticed by the promise of something shiny. And I had the opportunity to work as part of a team with a UK-wide business network, which promised a path towards business success. Now, I was really over the moon when I was invited to join, and really excited because I felt like this was the answer. But unfortunately, it wasn't so long before that illusion was shattered. Now, don't get me wrong, it was really good information, but there was no system or process in place. And in truth, my beliefs didn't match those of the business. I was living somebody else's principles. I wasn't being true to myself, and of course that meant I was miserable and broke. Now, after 18 months working in the role, I was drained physically, mentally and emotionally, and spent most of my time at home in my pajamas or literally laying on the floor of my office sobbing into the carpet. I literally had no idea what I was meant to do. I'd become two separate people, and I'd buried the massive core part of me. I'd hidden a lot of who I really was, what I believed in, and how I behaved in the outside world. I became what I thought other people expected of me, who I now refer to as the business bitch. Now, don't get me wrong, I was still nice, but it wasn't about me. I wasn't being myself, and I really had stopped listening to my internal voice. I knew that something inside had to change, and I just kept kicking myself, thinking, why am I putting my time, my energy and effort into something I don't believe in? And it was making me depressed. Now, I don't know if you've ever experienced something similar to this in your life, but I remember the day that it all turned around for me. And it was one of my days of carpet hugging and wiping my nose on the cat and wandering around my office at home, just pushing bits of paper around the desk. Now, I was rifling through my bookshelf to find a book to lend to one of my clients, and one of my great big Chinese medicine books fell off the top shelf and hit me on my left foot. And my God, did that hurt. But as I was having a pajama day, I kind of wanted any excuse to be distracted. So I sat on the floor and just started to read a couple of pages from this book. And as I began, I was reminded of the organizational structure of the Chinese 5 elements and how they make up everything in our world around us. You will know them, and it's so nice to be speaking to a crowd who do know them, as wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Now, as you know, this process describes how they're the building blocks and foundation for everything in our life, and this balances and feeds and controls absolutely everything within it. Now, the Chinese 5 elements also describe the relationship of every interaction. Now, as you know, the philosophy has many, many different levels and correspondences. So much more than I'll be able to share tonight, but I'd spent 10 years studying this stuff at that time, and it was a huge part of who I was. And then it struck me quite literally, this was the system I'd been looking for. This is what I knew was missing from the work that I'd been doing. Now, I already had a 5-step process that I'd used with my clients for relationship marketing, but I'd never, ever put the two things together. And my brain was literally buzzing. I felt that tingle run down my spine when I just know that I'm connected and I know that I'm on to something good. So for the rest of the day and the next 2 days, I was working like a crazy lady, rereading all of my books, scribbling on my pad. I spent hours and hours mapping across everything I knew about personal development, people, all of my spiritual work, all of my philosophies into this holistic online marketing process and personal development system, which is what I now teach today. You see, I believe that destiny has a really funny way of getting our attention, especially when we're not listening. Now, the question is whether or not you'll listen to the great big arrows that point you in the right direction, and they don't always come from where you think. Now, for me, it was the right book falling on my foot that made me reconnect with a part of me that I'd forgotten. And I believe that every single soulpreneur knows inside what they're meant to do, but often our clarity is hidden by all of our internal stuff that holds us back. So since that day, I have been using, applying and coaching passionate business owners and soulpreneurs who are people on a mission to make a difference, to grow their business using this holistic, energetic online business system for themselves in a way that really reflects who they are, so that they can work with people they love, doing something that makes them happy and change their life and the world in their own special way. So I hope that's given you a good understanding of who I am and why I do what I do, and why I'm so excited to be joining you lovely people this evening. So thank you. So my question to you is, what is the biggest thing that is holding you back in your business right now? And I'd really appreciate, actually, Sophie, if you could pop your answers in the boxes. Sophie, if you could let me know just what people say and what's holding back for them at the moment. It'd be really nice to know, just while I grab a quick drink. Has anyone shared anything? Okay, brilliant. Lovely. Okay, so I'll just wait for Sophie to come back with a question, but I'd really love to know what the biggest thing is that is holding you back in your business right now. Now, most of the time when I ask this question and when working with my clients, it boils down to one of two things. And they are what I call your soul and your surroundings. Now, as you know, in Chinese philosophy, we discuss a concept known as yin and yang, and this concept describes the two opposite forces of things that are actually interconnected, and they explain the relationship of this interaction within the system. Now, as you know, the two opposites actually create something amazing when they come together, and the strength in the two of them combined is much greater than the individual parts alone. Now, we can recognize yin yang as things like light and dark, and high and low, and hot and cold, fire and water, life and death. They're seemingly opposite, but they're also very much interconnected and dependent on one another. So what on earth does this have to do with you? Well, I use this simple system to explain the difference between what is happening inside of you, which I refer to as your soul, and the effect of what is happening outside of you or your surroundings, whether that's in your life or your business. So as explained with the yin yang theory, the two things are in fact interconnected and directly impact one another. So for me, I refer to your soul as things like your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs and emotions, which are things that are only ever experienced by you and you alone. And on the outside, on your surroundings, I mean things like your business, your marketing, your clients, your life, your family, your community, anything you can see or perceive outside of your personal experience. So when you consciously bring all of these things together in your life, it creates an incredible sense of personal fulfillment, empowerment, and strength in everything that you're doing. And it really does make up who you are, how you show up in the world, what you say, and the actions and decisions you make. Now, I know that you have to look at both sides of this to really get to where you want to go, to find your mission, follow your purpose, whatever you want to call it, however you want to serve people in the world. So on this training, we are only looking at a tiny part of this. So we're just going to be looking at how this works with your business and your marketing. Now, I just wanted to give you a really high level kind of overview of how I see what online marketing really is, because people often find the fact that I do these two things together quite an unusual concept. So I wanted to put the world of online into context. For me, there are three layers. There's you and who you are and what you do. And then when you take that up a level, I see online as really being about the relationships with the people around you and the people you connect with online. If you want to take that up another level, then for me, it is the one thing in the world which we can all access to easily communicate and connect with just about any and everyone. I believe that the internet, when used with good intention, can literally be the vehicle through which we all play our part in changing the world. And therefore, we can use it to influence the change that happens on the planet. So my personal mission is to help more soulpreneurs understand how they can use it to simply connect and use it to make their difference. And that's what I want to share with you today. So here's what I promised that you would find out on our training this evening. So we're going to look at how you can get more engagement so that more people love you, listen to your message and share your content. We're going to look at ways that you can deliver value and trust so that they are ready to buy from you. We're going to look at how you can make more sales, support your customers, and get out of the time for money trap, which I know a lot of therapists get stuck in. We're going to look at how you can get paid more for transforming your clients' lives and doing what you love. And last of all, I'm going to show you how to bring in more clients and allow the momentum of your marketing to do the work for you. So there are 5 big reasons why online marketing is often not working for people. Reason number 1 is they've forgotten who it really is about, and that is your customers and clients. Now, the 5-element process that I'm about to show you is based on a feeling journey for your clients, which is focused on creating a relationship with them that develops trust over time and allows you to get to know them. Now, this is the underlying philosophy for the system. Everything else is functional just to make that happen. The second big reason that it's often not working for people is that they've actually bought into false ideals. Now, so often I see people trying one little thing online and trying to grow their business, and then they say that it doesn't work and they give up because they aren't making 6 figures or they haven't made 100 trillion million pounds in a day. But my plea to you is to not buy into the belief that you have to be making 6 figures to be successful, because that belief in itself will hold you back. Success can mean so many different things to people. For me, success in my business is feeling truly happy in what I do, and then I find that the money comes, and it has to work that way round. Number 3 is you might be wasting time and money. So you need to make sure that you're making the right choices and investments. So often I meet people who are spending time doing things that they believe they should be doing with their online marketing, but actually they only have half the story. They're not looking at a big picture view of what's happening in their business, and they don't really have clarity on who they are, what they're doing, what they want to say, and where they want to go. Now, over the years, I've worked with literally hundreds of business owners and entrepreneurs who've been misled, mostly unintentionally, might I add, but they've had information from one expert and information on something else from someone else. And this really is one of those times when a case of a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. I've seen people literally lose hundreds of thousands of pounds because they've invested in the wrong thing at the wrong time for their business. So you need to have a plan and a clear direction, focus and vision for what you're doing. Number 4, nothing to do with online marketing, but it's that maybe you don't believe in yourself, and sometimes your thoughts can be holding you back. Now, I've seen this time and time again, but if you aren't aligned with what you're doing, if you don't believe in yourself, and I mean that lovingly, but as a soulpreneur, you have to look after yourself and make a commitment to maintaining the right thoughts, mindset, and energy about what you're doing. Nobody said that running a business was going to be easy. And in fact, I don't know anyone who has found it easy yet. It really is an emotional journey, and we really do have to take care and look after ourselves, because nobody else is going to come along and do that for us. So it's up to us to take our rest. It's up to us to plan our time. It's up to us to maintain that positivity. And find that level of support from people like Sophie, who are doing amazing things for therapists to support them in growing their business. Find communities of people who are there to hold your hand and help guide you along that way. So no one is going to come along and wave a magic wand and do it for you. I promise. I have looked for the fairies. I have not found them under a rock, the business fairies yet, but there are people that can help you do it. Now, I also believe that a lot of personal development stuff is sold on the basis that you're broken and somehow you need to be fixed. And I don't believe in that. I think that you might need guidance, you might need inspiration, you might need help filling in the gaps, you might need techniques to align yourself mentally and emotionally, but you are not broken. You're perfect just as you are. Now, number 5, the biggest reason that it's not working is you don't have a plan. Now, this scares and amazes me, just how many people are actually running their business without a plan. Now, I actually did a dissertation on relationship marketing when I did my acupuncture degree, and a whopping 77% of business owners did not have a plan in place to grow their business. Now, 77% of businesses, that really scared me, because when you compared the success of the people who did have a plan in place for their business against those who didn't have a plan, 100% of those who did have a plan were earning more than double the amount of the people in the same industry within 12 months, double the income. Now, it doesn't have to be an in-depth plan or something that takes weeks for you to write, but you do need to have a roadmap. If you've got no idea and what picture you're trying to create and where on earth you're going, then it's really difficult to understand the purpose of all your activity and how it fits together. So those are the 5 big things. Those are the 5 big things that are often holding people back. So let me share this 5-step online customer journey with you. I'm just going to have a quick sip of my water. 1 second. You'll probably want to grab a pen and piece of paper for this step. Excuse me, thank you, and write this down. So, as I've already mentioned, this is actually built on the ancient Chinese philosophy known as the generation cycle. And as you know, cycles are perpetual. Now, I don't have time to talk you through all the principles tonight, but what I'm going to share with you is how this relates to your customers. So let me introduce you to the steps of the customer journey. Now, the first step is called social. This is the beginning of their relationship with you. They've never met you before. They don't have a clue who you are. The second step in the emotional journey is called seduce. And you want to trigger some kind of emotional connection with your client here and connect with them on a personal level. Step number 3 is called support. And this is where you get them in a room, either physically, metaphorically, or metaphorically, and this is where they give you money for the first time. Sorry, I can share this with you, but the social step represents wood, seduce represents fire, and support represents earth. Now, secure represents metal, and these are this is where your clients should feel like they're on the inside now. The door is shut, and only these people are there getting this knowledge or service. And step number 5 relates to water, and that's called source. Now, this is the time to reflect on the process. This is all about assessing, learning, and making sure that you've delivered on your promise. Make sure that your clients feel safe and have all the things they need to go on the next step of the journey with or without you. Now, the important thing here is that this is just a roadmap. This is a framework for you to follow. Not all of your clients will neatly follow this process because you meet people in all sorts of places. So let's look at how we apply this emotional journey to your business and some of the biggest issues that people have along the way. So number 1 is often people are finding they don't get any engagement online. So the social step, the first step in the journey, this is all about engagement. This is about being friendly. Now, the most common reason that people aren't getting engagement online is because they're either trying to sell to people that they've just met, or they're trying to sell something that's too high price a product. So think about this for a second. This is the beginning of the client journey. If you were at a networking event and you just met someone and they walked up to you, handed you their business card and started telling you everything they do and how they can help you and how much they cost, and then they back you into a corner against the coffee machine until you just submit, what do you want to do? You just want to give them a little bop on the end of the nose, don't you? You don't want to connect with them. They're not somebody that you necessarily want to do business with. Now, the point of the social step in the customer journey is to get to know them, build rapport and relationship. Ideally, don't try to sell to people the first time they've met you. I'm not saying never make offers online, but just keep them in proportion. So here are your actions. So grab a pen or a piece of paper, and here are the steps you need to take to help start getting engagement on your social media. So your job at this point in the journey is to build relationship and demonstrate your expertise while still connecting with your audience in a way that's meaningful to them. So it's up to you to deliver valuable free content on social media, and the content needs to speak to your ideal crowd and position you as an expert who shows that you're still approachable and really knowledgeable about your subject. So get to know people online, find groups and pages and people who already have your ideal audience. So, you know, if you particularly want to work with mums, I was working with a Reiki master the other day who wants to specialise in just working with mums. And so her marketing is going to be focused on connecting with and engaging in communities of mums so that she can do the work with them. She wants to work with mothers and children. So step number 2 is to make sure that you post relevant content daily to your audience. Now, I say daily because if you're only posting once or twice a week, more often than not, people are going to miss that in their social media feed. So if you're posting something daily, it keeps you front of mind, and it allows people to really hear your message. They get more and more touch points from you, which is exactly what you need to do to build that connection. Step number 3 is create at least 1 or 2 blog posts a week to your website, from your website. When you share this on social media, this invites people back to your website, which is great for Google Juice. Now, I also suggest that you send an email out to your list. If you have anybody on your email list, every time you write a blog, email your list and invite them to come and read the blog on your website. Your job here is to be consistent and to show up regularly so that your community get to know you, trust you, and what you do. So I hope you think you can do that. There's some really simple steps there that you can take. Now, I wanted to share this story with you quickly. This is Pauline. She runs a breast cancer charity called Bosom Buddies, and she's one of the clients that we do some pro bono work for to help with their online marketing. So she runs Bosom Buddies, which is a breast cancer charity, and she's a breast cancer survivor. She wants to support women and young girls and ex-breast cancer survivors to go into schools to educate young women about the early signs of breast cancer. So I was part of a team with another 2 ladies Amanda Rui and Tamsin Gary, and between us we created the Shock Gok campaign, the world's first ever flash tweet, which was a lot of people sharing the same tweet on Twitter all at once. And the purpose of this was to get Gok Wan's attention. So in 4 days, we created a mini army online. Pauline raised money for her charity, and we had 1,400 tweets went out to Gok within 20 minutes. And it was a link to her video with a special message to him. So you can imagine we got his attention. And most importantly, we got Gok. So I was absolutely over the moon. Lots of tears, lots of excitement, and dancing around my office when that happened. So this is something that you can do yourself as well. Now, it needs to be something you can do for a cause, because people will really get behind it and really support you. This isn't something that you would do as a marketing campaign, but it's there to show that you support. So I know a lot of you probably support several charities. You do a lot of work in your community. It's an amazing thing to do. Do a flash tweet. And if you want to get the attention of a celebrity, you have an amazing step-by-step process there on how to do it. But I was really excited when we got one. So that was fun. So now you know how to create a community of people who love you, who share your message and your content online. So let's take a look at step 2, seduce. So often the issue here is that either people don't have a list or they have a list who just isn't connected. So what you need to do is to deliver value to your potential customers when they opt in on your website, and follow up with them with something useful if they don't buy from you the first time round. Now, one of the best ways for you to get people to fall in love with you is to do a webinar or online training, just like you're on now. Now, this is Glenn Bridges, and he specialises in helping people to get more clients using videos and webinars. And this man is a genius. He's really, really lovely, very kind, beautiful soul. And we did a webinar together some time ago. So using webinar, using online training and Google Hangouts is probably one of the best ways to help you to build a relationship with your audience, because it's just like being in the room. You get to know them, you get to know who is online, and then you can invite people to take the next step with you. Now, just so that you can see the kind of comparison with this, is for this webinar, we ended up with 72% of people who saw the landing page registering for our webinar. Now, as compared to something on your website, maybe you've got an opt-in form for a special download or something like that on your website, you probably get maybe 5 to 10% at best people opting into that online. So as you can see, this is something that would be a really great way for you to build a list and to start creating something to attract more customers and clients towards you. Now, the reason I say a webinar or online training like this one can really help you build a relationship, because you get to hear someone's voice. You all get to hear me on a totally different way, something you'd never ever get from a PDF or you know, just a blank page on your website. It actually brings the person to life, and we want that connection, especially with the work that you do. You really want that connection with your client from the moment they visit you or visit your website. You want them to feel like they can know and trust you. So here are a few actions for you. You need to think about something that delivers results in advance. Your seduce content should give value and help your clients to fall in love with you. It should tell your story. I haven't really got time to go into it tonight, but what is your story? How did you get into doing what you do? What led you to follow this path and follow this journey? What is the big why behind your business and why you're doing what you're doing? This is about you being human and showing up as you. So your seduce content helps to prove your credibility to those people. It shows that you know your stuff. So give people something to do themselves so that they can implement it. They may not buy now, but they may in the future. And even if people never ever buy from you on your webinar, you need to know, people need to know how you help them, and they will have 10 friends that they will go and talk to people about you too. So don't always think about this just being a sale. You'll naturally lose people, but they know who you are. So you need something on your website that delivers results in advance. So something like a PDF. If you don't want to start doing webinars, a PDF is so much better than absolutely nothing on your website at all. but you need to give people a reason to give you their name and email address. So a PDF, a video, a report, some kind of online training, whatever it is, it's normally something free. Excuse me, just having a sip of my juice. So the content here should relate to the next thing at the support level that you want people to connect with and to buy from you. So if you already have a PDF, if you've already created a really nice document, or you've got lots of great information on your website already from a blog, turn it into a PDF. And once you've got it as a PDF, turn it into a video or webinar or Google Hangout, so that you can create this step in your own business, which means that you can help more people. So there are 3 things there that I recommend you share, which is what the issue is that you want to help them with. So, you know, it might be how to overcome back problems, how to eat better, why they need to overcome it, and then give them some tips on how to do that. So I want to share a story just quickly of the beautiful Julia Bernard Thompson. Now, Julia is one of my gorgeous clients, and she spent years running a very successful wedding planning business. Now, she knows how to sell, and got a little bit sick of all the bridezillas that were so demanding on her time, but there were lots of people in her industry that were asking for her advice. So she created a new business called Package Your Passion. And I wanted to share her stories with you on webinars because I wanted you to see how quickly this can all turn around. So before working with me, Julia had spent a lot of her time selling calls or sessions herself one-to-one, which is great. She was getting lots of clients. Now, she'd tried doing a few webinars and seminars before, but she'd really struggled to make sales. So she ran her first webinar. She only had 20 people on it and made her first few sales and ended up with a few grand in the bank. And that was just from 20 people on the call. And now she makes regular sales using webinars and raising her profile rapidly online. Now, it's not millions, but it is real stuff. She's made a few tweaks to what she's doing, and now she can start getting money in online. Now, I know often when I work with therapists, or holistic therapists, they're unsure how to make this work for their business and their customers and clients. And my suggestion to you is to think about all of the things that you talk to your clients about repetitively. Every time you see a client, you probably share the same kind of information with them. You talk to them about their diet, you talk to them about their lifestyle. There are so many things you know and so much amazing information that you could share with them. It's just about packaging it up in the right way. So please don't think that this doesn't apply to you, because it really does. And this system was actually designed and created for acupuncturists and therapists, and I've expanded it and taken it out to passionate business owners and soulpreneurs. So this really does apply to you. You just need to think about your business, your skills, what you know, and how to put this process together. So I hope you can see that it doesn't have to be hard. It can be really easy for you to find clients online and to get them to come in and to have treatments and things with you. So now you know that you can deliver value to your list and create a list of potential clients who are ready to buy from you. So the third step is called support. Now, this is the third step in your customer's journey, but the issue here is often that people aren't making any sales. So the reason that you want to connect with people online is because you want them to become a customer at some point, but that connection comes through trust. So people need to feel comfortable about handing their money over to you, because very often they haven't met you before, they've not met you face to face. So when you have steps 1 to 3 in place for your business, it allows you to start making money online passively, which means you earn money without doing anything. Which is what you want from an online business, isn't it? So if you aren't making any money online yet, then I'm about to show you how, especially as a therapist, you can get out of the time for money trap. So your actions here are to think about creating a low-priced information product. Now, you'd be amazed how many people I meet who say they aren't making any money online, but they actually have nothing to sell. Now, you might laugh, but that is true. They have absolutely nothing available on their website to buy, or they're trying to sell something like a £3,000 or £5,000 product, which needs to be customised for their business. So my suggestion to you is to create a low priced information product. And as I just mentioned with the webinars, think about all the content of all the things that you talk to your clients about every time they come in to see you. So brainstorm everything, brainstorm all the things your customers and clients need to know. And once you start creating this, it's going to help you to get out of the time for money trap, because if you can turn these into a few videos, a series of PDFs, and put them into a locked area on your website, you can create a series of PDFs and then put them on a page on your website that's a locked content area that only people who've paid you money can get into. Then it means that you can get money online for your information, for all the things in your head, without you having to be there. And this is how you get out of the time for money trap, because you're not waiting, you're not only getting paid for every hour or for every treatment that you've done. And also the great thing about this is that it actually educates your clients. It educates the people who are thinking about coming to have a treatment with you, or, you know, come and have a session, whatever that might be, but they're not quite ready to take that step with you. So this is about educating people about what they don't know about the things that you do, but also make it valuable enough to them that it's something that sits as a standalone thing that they'll learn how to do something for themselves. So it could be, you know, exercises, it could be stretches, it could be a whole host of things. There's lots and lots of different ways you can implement this in your business. Now, I have a lot of people who say that they can't find anything for their business, but it really does just take some brainstorming, and it does free up your time, and also, like I said, sells your clients into working with you. So let me show you a great example of a client of mine. So this is my wonderful friend Tamsin Gary, and she's the author of The Act of Attraction in Business. Now, this is an amazing book, by the way, and you really should read this yourself. So it will help you get real clarity on where you're going and what you're doing. Now, Tamsin is one of the UK's leading business and leadership mentors, and she's also a shiatsu practitioner and hypnotherapist. Now, she's been a director of one of the UK's largest business networks and worked in some huge corporate companies, but she's a real, very grounded, beautiful star. Now, I've worked with her to create a step-by-step training program called 12 Steps to Attraction. And I worked with her to build the whole thing from beginning to end. The content, the system that manages it, the website, everything. And now Tamsin has her own online membership program, which is a locked content access area that she's able to give people access to, and it works on autopilot. So other than her interaction inside the Facebook group, she now has a passive way of getting more and more clients into her business. So now you can find a way to make sales online and support more of your customers and get out of the time for money trap. Now, the fourth step in the customer journey is called secure, and this is where you need to offer your transformation. And by that, I mean whatever it is that you do that makes you so amazing. Now, the issue I often find with people in lots and lots of different businesses is that they say that making money is hard, but actually maybe they just need to repackage what it is that they're doing. So you need to give more to your clients and transform their lives or their business. Now, I see this a lot. One of two things are happening in someone's business. Either they have no high price product or service, and by that I mean something that brings in over 500 or over £1,000 a year per customer, or they only have one product or service to sell. Now, often when I talk to therapists about this, they say that they haven't, but actually if you have a client coming back to you, you know, 10 or 15 times, then that client is worth that much money to you over a year. So you do have this in your business. It's just about thinking about the way that perhaps you package the program up for people so that it becomes something where they get an end result rather than just something they trickle in and do, you know, once a week or twice a week. It's actually an end-to-end product. Now, something that people often do here is get together and collaborate. So maybe you know lots of other people that you could get together with, perhaps a nutritionist, perhaps a reflexologist, perhaps a massage therapist, and you could all team up and create an amazing package for this client where they can work between 2 or 3 of you, and you can all help this client to create this amazing result. Now, it's either that or lots of people are trying to build a business on something that just makes them something like £50 per client, which is great, but it will never ever get you well paid, and you have to do a lot of work for it. Now, the most important thing you must do here is offer your clients some kind of transformation. The result here has to be awesome. This is the core part of your business, and this is the thing that you want all of your clients to get to at some point with you. So let me share a story with you of Jenny. Now, Jenny is an author and an inspirational coach, and she works with women to help them discover that spark inside and show up as their truly beautiful, irresistible selves. And she works with people, whether they're running a business or whether they're a mum, an auntie, whatever. But I've been doing some work with Jenny since early this year, and we worked together on her business and online strategy. And Jenny's been doing this kind of stuff for a long, long time. Before we met, she'd been coaching and mentoring and written her book. Now, I worked with her on her new brand, the Irresistible Women brand, and she worked with our beautiful graphic designer, Dee, who's amazing. Now, Dee and I worked with Jenny to create Jenny's new website, which you can see here. Now, on top of that, as part of the work that we did around her business strategy, Jenny now created a group coaching program instead of just doing one-to-one. So her new coaching program is a small mastermind where she works intensively with people to unlock all the things in their lives which are holding them back. Now, she just launched her second group of these this year, which is now bringing in over £3,000 per person. And she has a great group of 5 people now working with us. That's like an extra £15,000 a year, for the next few months for Jenny, on top of her usual one-to-one coaching. Now, I want to share that with you because what she offers to her clients is transformational. And often I find light workers, spiritual workers, therapists, coaches are so undervaluing what we do. The transformation that you can do, the things that you can do for your clients is life-changing if only they would commit to working with you. Now, I'm not saying that what you have to do has to change someone's mindset, thoughts and beliefs. Your transformation is whatever you do that makes you you. But in short, this step in the journey with your client involves your personal time. And this is where you get to work your magic with that person. So this is the 4th step in your client's customer journey online. So what actions can you take here? So have a think about what your transformation really is. Now, your support product, the one that we created just before, is really there to support people who maybe can't afford to work with you, or they're not ready to work with you and commit. But when they do, they're working. The support level product is trying to get them to understand what they need to know before they're ready to buy this step with you, which is the secure step. Now, you need to understand your transformation and how you can make the seemingly impossible possible for your clients. So what is it that you do or you'd like to do that can help you implement those kind of changes in their life or business? So think about this for a minute. Would you rather have 20 clients paying you £3,000 each, which is £60,000 a year, or would you rather have 120 clients at £50 each doing the same thing to get the same level of income? Do you know how much work is involved in getting 1,200 clients to buy from you? It's doable, but if you're selling something that's a higher priced, it's so much easier when people already have a relationship with you and you become the only obvious answer to their question. So step number 2 is to think about the different formats. How can you deliver this? I already mentioned that perhaps you could get together with other people in your industry, you could collaborate, and you could create an amazing package, something that's like one-to-ones or group sessions or training or a step-by-step program for who you're working with. If you're not an expert in what you're doing, then perhaps create a group of people around you and become the facilitator for that. So design your packages. You can charge more here because of the value that you deliver. Don't get stuck with an hourly rate. Think about the value to your client of what it is that you're sharing with them. What's the difference it's going to make in their life? So it needs to be really compelling, and you do need to deliver. It needs to help your clients overcome and get rid of those things that are really stopping them from getting where they want to go. So if you've never ever run this before, then I suggest that you also run a pilot and test out how this could work, which means that you get some lower price sales, get some bums on seats, and most importantly, you get testimonials, which I'll talk to you about in the next step. But testimonials are absolutely vital for your business. They're vital for your online marketing, and they're vital for your social media. Because what other people say about you is way, way more powerful than anything that you can say for yourself. So I hope that that's giving you a few ideas of ways that you can perhaps expand what you're doing, and help you bring in more money for the amazing things that you do. Now, I wanted to let Jenny tell you about her experience with this, because she explains the difference it made for her when she started this in her business.
If you're watching this, then I'm guessing that you're thinking about working with Yvette at the Social Source. My advice to you, stop thinking and just do it. Seriously, Yvette has managed to turn an aspect of business that can be so frustratingly overwhelming, to the point of tears, into something that is so simple with her step-by-step process. Not only that, Yvette has this very rare mix of both business strategy, technical knowledge, and a totally holistic approach, which makes working with her a complete dream. Now, I thought I was going to Yvette to work on online strategy, but I actually came out with a crystal clear business plan that I've been grappling with for months, because I get to do it in a way that actually fits in with completely who I am. Pure genius. Finally, someone in the UK that gets this stuff and I resonate with. Thank you, Yvette. You rock. And if you're thinking about it, just go for it.
Bless her. Thank you. I love that. It still brings a tear to my eye every time I watch it. Thank you, Jenny. She's such a beautiful soul. Love her to bits. Now, I just want to add to that, by the way, that the reason you do whatever it is you do is because you enjoy doing it. So think about yourself. Are you doing something in your business that gives you that tingly feeling when you do it? If you could get those kind of messages from people every day or every week doing what you love the most, isn't that the feeling of success? This isn't about building a six-figure business, and it's definitely not about that for me. It's about doing whatever I do to make that difference for someone. That's what I get out of it. Now, the money comes into your business later. The money follows that transformation and that amazing feeling. So I'm sure that you feel the same way about the work that you do with your clients. So think about what you can create to offer an amazing transformation in your business. So now you can transform your customers' lives doing what you love and get paid more. So the fifth and final step is called source, and this is about you bringing in more clients. Now, I already just referred to it, ironically, using the word referrals. So the biggest issue for step 5 is actually about ensuring that your customers have everything they need. This is the fifth and final step in the customer journey I showed you at the beginning, and this is about letting your clients do your marketing for you. If you've done an excellent job, then it is easy for your clients to do your marketing. The great thing about this from a business point of view is it actually reduces the cost of your marketing. Word of mouth is free, because your happy, delighted, excited customers should be a walking, talking example of the work you do and share your amazing story with their friends. Now, if you've done an amazing job at the secure step, if you've done something transformational for them, then this isn't going to be hard for you. If you don't give your clients anything to shout about, they're not going to do any shouting online. It really is that simple. So you need to ask your clients systematically for a testimonial and give your clients the tools to be able to shout about you. So make sure that you do ask your clients for a testimonial, whether it's written, whether it's a video testimonial. I know with therapists, sometimes it's really hard to get a testimonial because you have to be careful what they say. But if the testimonial comes from a client and it's a video testimonial, it's what your clients are saying. You just need to make sure that it is honest and truthful, and don't allow them to make outrageous claims about what you've done. So I do know that there is a little bit of a grey area for clients around that with therapeutic-based things. So let me just share a shining example of a business who do an amazing job of getting referrals and testimonials from their business and get referrals because of it. So Sherlaw's is a worldwide coaching company with offices in the UK, America, Cayman Islands, South Africa, Canada. They've got places all over the world. And they've been running for just over a decade. Now, they do some amazing work. They work quite deeply with business owners. They work on the more inside stuff, personal values, beliefs, thoughts and emotions. They work with the business owners and the members of the team. And they also work on some amazing business strategy things as well. So they do look at both sides of the business and business owner, which is why I absolutely love everything they do. Now, they've practically built their entire company built on direct referral from very, very happy clients. Now, this is really powerful for your business because people come for free to your business, but they're already pre-qualified if they've been referred by somebody who's already worked with you. And they're already half sold because they know somebody else that's already used you. So it makes your job so much easier. Now, I'm really proud to say that I've been doing some work as part of one of the teams within Sherlaw's since early this year. Now, they work with entrepreneurs and business owners to increase the value of their business and help them sell it for like up to 8 times more and more in the next few years. Now, they're an example of this because a majority of their work comes in by referral from very, very happy clients. And these are client contracts worth thousands of pounds. And that's all based on testimonial and referral. So no matter where you are in your business cycle, the same principles apply. So make sure your clients are bringing more clients to you. So your actions to help you make sure that you do that are to create a questionnaire. This is the final step in your client's journey. And so often, after you've taken, £500 off of somebody, they often forget to look after those people because they're actually the most likely people to spend more money with you again, assuming you've done an amazing job, which I know you will have done. But you can still help your client find work even after you feel like your work is done. So a few things you can do are to create a questionnaire for them to complete after they've worked with you, and this will help improve and provide feedback. Now, you can also refer them on to somebody else. So who is the next logical person that your customers should work with after they've worked with you? So for example, if you're running a bridal shop, you'd send them to a florist, to a wedding photographer. Who are the next logical people that your clients are likely to want to work with after they've worked with you? Step 3 is always ask for a testimonial and a testimonial video, because what other people say about you is so powerful and it allows you to share those online. So I'll show you in a second where this all feeds back into each other. But when you collect the video testimonials here, share them on social media. Step number 4 is to make your clients an affiliate. Now, an affiliate is where you give somebody a link and they get paid for sending you a referral. So normally you would pay them for a share of your products that any clients come to you through that. Really doesn't have to be complicated. It's really easy to get an affiliate system set up, which means that you get more clients into your business, they get some money for sending people to you, and it's a win-win-win. So it's a bit like a loyalty card or something like that you might have with your clients already, but you get to do that online. So I hope you see how easy it could be for you to do this for yourself. So get your happy clients to do your marketing for you, and I promise this is really going to skyrocket what you're doing. So now you know how to bring in your clients and turn them into your sales army and let them do the work to bring you more clients for free. So let me just show you how this all fits together with your online marketing. Now, I shared the story earlier of Tamsin from the Active Attractions. This is what we did to build her system when I worked with her last year. We worked on her website. So we started with her social media profiles. So she's got a Facebook page, Twitter, LinkedIn, Google, YouTube, Pinterest. We looked at, she's on her website, she's got free videos and webinars that she shares. She's got free book sample and some download worksheets. For the support step in the journey, she's got a 12 Steps to Traction membership program, which I shared with you earlier. And 10 weeks after we launched her membership program online, she started her live training, which is called Enact, which is a group program and personal coaching. And the 5th step, she also has a referral and affiliate program for her clients, and she gathers testimonials, and those testimonials she then shares again on social media. So that's exactly what you would be doing with your business. Any testimonials that you gather, you then share again on social media, and the idea is that it then brings more people, other people see the testimonial, other people see the video, and it sends more and more people back into this cycle. So that's why it's perpetual. It begins to gather momentum and starts to feed itself, which means you get lots more clients coming into your business without you having to do so much work. Now, obviously, there is a lot more to this process. I've broken the whole thing down into 10 steps. We only looked at one layer tonight, the customer journey. But as you can see here, there are actually another 2 layers that relate to the types of products and content that you'd share and the type of online systems. And there are 10 other areas that you would need to look at to make this whole thing work synchronistically as an integrated process. But just remember, the basis of this is the customer journey, which is what we spoke about at the beginning. So I hope you've enjoyed yourself tonight. I hope you've really enjoyed that. That is not my other half AD, by the way. That is not AD on his little tricycle. I really hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you so much for staying and taking part. I hope it really does make it all worth it. I'm not sure if there are any questions, Sophie, if there's anything coming up, or if we're all right. Brilliant. Okay. So thank you so much. If you've got any questions after this, then of course you can always email them over to me. I'd really love it if you could do me a favour and pop over to my Facebook wall and say you had a great time if you've enjoyed it. But just open a new window and pop over to Facebook at The Real Social Source, facebook.com/The Real Social Source. Means the world to me. Otherwise, I'm just sat here like a little bit of a crazy lady, chatting to myself and Sophie listening. So that's officially the end of the class. So I hope you've taken lots of notes, but thank you very much for coming. Now, if you're staying, as I promised at the beginning, if it's okay, I would like to share exactly what I have put together for you if you would like to come and work with me at a deeper level. So I hope that's okay, Sophie, if I drop straight into sharing that. I don't think we've got any questions coming up in the chat box. I'm just going to grab a quick drink. Whew.
And I'll butt in there and say, yep, that's absolutely fine.
So the whole purpose of everything... Oh, hello. Is that all right? Thank you. Thank you, fabulous. Okay, so I'm just going to share share what I've put together for you. Thank you, Sophie. Thank you so much for having me. So I spoke earlier on in the call about your soul and your surroundings. And what I'd like to do is to help you pull all of that together in your life and your business and show you how I work and how I can help you bring everything that you're doing together in a way that really brings all of who you are to your business. Because so often, as you remember from my story, I have met so many people along the way who are hiding themselves from their business. They're hiding themselves from the real world. I refer to it as the spiritual closet. Lots of people are hiding away in the spiritual closet and not really speaking their truth about who they are and what they do, and that they like wearing pink fluffy slippers, or that they go quad biking at the weekend, and they hide a lot of themselves away, and it actually can make you miserable. But also, the other thing is, there's this underlying thing that your clients can pick up if you're not really showing up as who you are and being truthful, open and honest. They're not quite sure what it is, they can't put their finger on it, but they know that there's something else missing. So what I want to share with you is how I'd like to work with you on your surroundings. Now, the whole purpose of everything here is to bring together your life and your business. And originally this program was designed for therapists, acupuncturists and health practitioners. So whether you're just starting out or whether you've been going a while, this is going to work for you. So the first part is I'd like to give you access to my 10-week intensive online training program to guide you through this entire online process, and to help you show up as a reflection of who you really are. This is like me coming in to mentor you personally each week, and these are the practical steps you need in place to make this work. So the program is here to help you form a connection with your community, attract the right customers, get them to make a purchase with you, and become a lifelong client who loves you and buys from you time and time again. So everything inside the training is there to help you create all 3 levels of the holistic online business model that I just showed you. Now, there are 3 or 4 videos inside each element. So let's just take a quick look at what we'll cover. So in element 1, you'll get to know your customer, you'll understand them and connect with them in a way which is meaningful to them. We'll look at what makes you unique so you stand out online with something meaningful to say. In element 2, we'll look at your social media and how you can use the social media platforms to find your clients and to create a community who love you and share your message. I'm also going to show you how you can get noticed by leaders in your industry so that you can propel your business forward. Now, in element 3, you'll learn how to clearly communicate your message, your knowledge and expertise so that your clients understand what you do and how you can help them. In element 4, this is the most powerful communication tool you need online. I've shown you everything you need to start to use video in your business. Now, people often freak out when I talk about video, but I'm going to give you some really simple structures that you can copy, swipe and deploy. I'll show you all the equipment you need to get started, even on a tiny, weeny budget. So if you want to connect and build relationships with your community, you have to use videos. And guess what? You don't actually have to get on camera either. I'm going to show you different ways that you can embrace video in your business without being on screen. So in element 5, you've got everything you need for your website to instantly connect with your audience, to get them to take action and see how people coming back time and time again. In element 6, we'll look at creating a stream for your business so that you can create momentum and a wave of clients to your website and to what you're doing. I'm going to show you how you can get free organic visits to your website and Google, and show you how to use paid advertising online. In element 7, we're going to look at make sure that you're using the right products, the right services and the right content. So this is everything you're going to share on social media, your freebies, your products, the price points you need to use, the value you deliver and the transformation that you can make for your clients. Element 8 is all about the technicalities, the systems and the programs that will help you to make this process easy so that you can spend more time doing what you love, working with people you love. In element 9, we're going to look at sales, and this is one of the biggest hurdles I find when attracting clients into your business, especially online. I'm going to show you how to sell in a way that's congruent to who you are, but still invites your community to take action. I'm going to show you what you can do to follow up, to connect and engage your potential customers in offers that give value and they will absolutely love you for. We'll look at some important stuff like your language, your questions, your clients' emotions and your mindset around selling, and that is a big E, and that's one of the biggest things that stops people from moving forward. In element 10, you'll understand why you need to look after your customers' best interests, make sure that you serve them and see how to pull that into the rest of your marketing message so that they send you new and repeat clients time and time again. Now, all of that's going to be inside of our private membership site, where I'll guide you to complete 1 element per week, and you can work at your own pace, either quicker or slower. You'll get access to a series of step-by-step videos breaking down each part of the process, and the whole thing is delivered in bite-sized pieces. If you can watch YouTube videos, you're watching this, you'll be able to watch anything. You can watch it on any device. Now, underneath each video, there's a workout sheet as well to help you implement anything. But included in that, you're also going to get access to our private Facebook community, because it's really important for me that this works for you. So you get lifetime access to the videos and our private Facebook group. And I've got a great community in there who I love hanging out with. this is a space for you to ask questions, to get support from me and support from my team. I check in the group almost every day, but you also have the rest of the team of experts on hand to help you with things like social media, your website, design and branding, video marketing, and creating your products. I hope you can see the value in having us on hand to hold the whole thing together for you, or to give you a gentle kick in the tush to keep the whole thing moving. So as an extra gift from me to you, in addition to the Soul-preneur system, you also get access to free training videos on LinkedIn, Facebook, Google+, YouTube, Twitter, and Pinterest. And those are all included because I want to make sure that you understand everything you need on each of those platforms. There's probably about 7 or 8 videos inside each of those different training programs. So you get all of those included. Now, as it's online, unlike physical products like box sets or DVDs, we do keep it up to date. So we're always refining it, adding more content, and you get lifelong updates to this too. So this grows with you as you grow. Now, this is the main element of the package and is currently an investment of £500 for the online programme. Now, this is the best way for you to get the kind of dedication, involvement and commitment from me to help you get to where you're going. Now, of course, I can't work on just one side of your business with you. I also want to work with you on your soul. So you'll also get access to our brand new videos, which aren't there yet, but are coming inside the site. Now, the soul is the work that you need to do to help you get aligned with your life and your business. Now, there are 10 things that every soulpreneur must understand about themselves and where they're going. So I'm going to share my understanding of how your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions affect everything that happens in your life and your business on a daily basis, as this has a direct impact on the actions you take and the decisions you make, which will in turn give you the level of success and happiness that you really want to experience in your life. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that I don't have limiting thoughts or beliefs. I have done a lot of personal work on myself. But what I do have is a massive commitment to myself to make sure that when this stuff does come up, that I actually use and apply these things myself, so that I can shift the energy in it straight away and do that work to let it go. This is the work that got me back out of the hole and back on my feet after everything around me I was hugging the carpet and kissing the cat. Now, that is what I want to share with you inside the program. And this is a combination of all the work I've done as a complementary therapist over the last 10 to 12 years. Now, on top of everything that you're going to get, the Soul-preneur online systems, the soul work, the surroundings, the 6 social media training modules, and a private Facebook community, I would really like to invite you to join me with an extra special gift. I know the hardest part is actually getting started. So when you join today, you're also going to get a place on a 2-day live event with me. So I want you to grab your phone or calendar and write these dates down, so you can choose from the 3rd and 4th of December, or the 6th and 7th of January. So they're the 2 dates that I've got coming up. So on day 1, we'll cover your soul, your thoughts, your feelings, beliefs, and emotions in life and business. I'll show you simple but powerful techniques that can change the way you think, feel, and work. On day 2, we're going to look at your surroundings to create that online business plan for your Soul-preneur system, which mirrors what's included inside the membership site. So we're going to spend some time together in a beautiful hotel, literally about a mile away from where I live, called the Copthorne Hotel near Gatwick in Sussex. It's free parking and easy links from London. And you get this additional gift of the 2-day event included when you join me today. So as well as the online program, and after our 2 days together, you're going to have a real step-by-step plan for creating that direction, focus and clarity, and you're going to have the strength, determination and commitment to get to where you want to go, so that we can kick 2014 off with the right momentum. So you're going to have a plan of what to do and what you need to get in place over the next few months. You'll know where you are now, and I will help you identify the energetic gaps which are holding you back in your life or your business. Now, normally to spend that kind of time together in a class, you'd be looking at £1,500 to join me for that. But I'm doing this as my personal mission to create the next group of soulpreneurs, passionate business owners with a mission and a message to change the world. Now, as I already said, online marketing isn't about you or the relationships. It really is about the connection. And for me, it's about the connection to everything and everyone. And I want to play my part in changing the way the world connects, the way that we as people connect. And I want to see you, and I want to see your business really fly and get to where you want to go to in 2014. So here's the thing: if you're still here and this is speaking to you in some way and you are clearly committed to making your difference in the world, then you can join. The price of the program is $998. But as you're still here, and as a special offer to the Holistic Directory and Sophie, and because you are clearly ready to commit, I would love it for you to join me for just £488, or you can make it really easy with just 6 payments of £88 over the next 6 months. So all you need to do is visit that URL, www.the-social-source.com/holistic directory, and that will take you through to a special page for you as part of one of Sophie's amazing crowd. So it's just £488, and you can spread that over the next 6 months, and that's going to give you lifetime access to the site, all future updates, and our community. You'll get the 6 social media training modules, and you get to come to the live 2-day event with me, and that's all for just £488, and you can do it in 6 payments, which is quite mind-blowing and actually cost less than the online training program is currently selling for. So look, to book your place, just register now on that URL. I really want you to feel safe about joining me. I know that sometimes investing in yourself can feel like a massive stretch. So in the next 30 days, if you change your mind for whatever reason, let me know and I will refund you all of your money. And I will go further than that too. If you'll commit and implement the things that I'm going to teach you, come to the 2 days, come on the training, and if you still get to the end of the very last video and feel like it hasn't worked for you, I will still refund you every single penny. That is how much I want this to work for you. So if you go through it all and feel like it doesn't work for you, then you don't pay. It's that simple. So go and grab your place now on that domain, on that URL. Now, obviously, if you need to talk this over with someone, then do so. And I'd say go and do that now. I'm sure you can appreciate that I can't offer a guarantee of income or results, and nor would I either. This is about so much more than that. This is about your success. This is about that internal happiness. And this is about you committing to yourself to do the work. So if you're worried about those dates and you only need to find your way to one of those 2 dates, so go and have a little shuffle around in your diary. And I wanted to make it really easy for you to join. So you've got the 6 payments there of just £88 over 6 months. If you're worried that your business is different or that it's not going to work for you, it really isn't. And that's exactly why we have the Facebook group and our live days together. Every business is different. And everyone's strategy looks very different, and everyone's at totally different places. So that's why you've got so much extra support around this to help make sure this happens for you in your business. So if you're listening and perhaps that little voice has shown up inside of you that's scared of failing, or maybe you don't believe that you can do it because you haven't made it yet, then those are exactly the limiting beliefs and mindset challenges that are standing in your way of you becoming who you're really meant to be. And that's exactly why we're going to do the work on the soul, so that you can stop second guessing your ability to get to where you want to go. Now, I want you to trust yourself and honor that feeling in your gut about whether or not this is right for you. And whether or not this is going to take your life and your business to the next level. And I want you to encourage you to trust that feeling. Like I said before, you already know the answer. Now, just because I want to make sure that you've got absolutely everything in place, and quite honestly, I'm not happy unless you're delighted. After our 2-day event, if you join me today, I'm also going to give you a 30-minute Skype session with me to personally walk through everything you've created and see where you have any energetic gaps in what you're doing, where you're going, and what you need to do to make this happen. So it's also because I really love finding out what's actually going on for you, and I want to allow you to explore that space of what's happening. So pop over to that domain, www.socialsource.com/holistic directory, to come and join us today. Whew. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sophie. Thanks for inviting me. I am worn out. I don't think I've talked that much in such a long time. I might go and have a little glass of wine now, I think, now that we've finished. Thank you so much for having me. It's been really, really lovely. Did you want to pop back on and come and say hi? Hope you can still hear me.
Yep,
I haven't been talking to myself for ages.
No.
Oh, there we are. Hello.
Hello. No, that's fantastic. I'm sure I'm speaking for everybody who's listening.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Hello. I can, yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm sure I'm speaking for everybody in saying that was brilliant, and there was loads of really great tips there, and I'm sure everybody will go away from this and be able to instigate some stuff, and also I'm sure you'll get lots of people that will want to come and do that because it's fantastic value.
It's mental, isn't it? Quite frankly.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It was really lovely, and it's so nice to actually deliver this to a crowd of people who understand what I'm talking about when it comes to the 5 elements of energy and things. So thank you so much for inviting me to come. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much for coming, and hopefully we'll have you along again at some point soon.
Hope so. I'm going to have a drink now. Thank you.
All right, lovely. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.